Before we get into today's video, I want to remind everyone that I will be going live tonight on my channel at 9 p.m. with my man Ed Oliver to preview the Chargers game and to talk ad nauseum about this Curtis Samuel injury once again at 9 p.m. on my channel tonight. I will be live with Ed Oliver. See you guys there. Enjoy the video. So in 4 days, Washington is going to host the Los Angeles Chargers, and we have some news on wide receiver Curtis Samuel. To finish it off, we have some news about FEDEX Field for this Sunday that should make a lot of you guys happy. So to get the bad news out the way, I want to talk about Curtis Samuel first. So Curtis Samuel was at practice today, and before he really could get into practice, he ran a little bit of some routes and he had some discomfort, and he came off of the field and he went to the back with head trainer Ryan Vermillion, and that's not a good sign at all. He was coming up limpy, as you guys are going to see in the clip.
Right there.
He came up limping, and a lot of reporters out there were saying that it's not looking good, and I knew this could have been a real possibility because when you look at Curtis Samuel, he's not really practiced, let me put it that way. He hasn't practiced for 4 months, and he sustained this injury back in OTAs, and he didn't practice for the rest of OTAs. He didn't practice, I want to say, if not at all, a little bit. But the guy really just hasn't been practicing because of this groin injury. And I told you guys, I know a lot of you guys were behind Ron Rivera and not really taking it too serious because Ron Rivera wasn't really, worried about Curtis Samuel. But I told you guys like 2 months ago, I would be a little bit worried that he's still out and he's still not really practicing how we want to see him practice, because a groin injury is something that can linger, and obviously it is lingering with Curtis Samuel since he sustained this injury back in May. Curtis Samuel is a straight up burner. He's a guy that needs a healthy groin, and this injury is going to be way worse than what we thought it was actually going to be. I know a lot of people were expecting him to play week 1, that including Ron Rivera. I thought he was going to play week 1, but it's not looking like the guy is going to be out there in week 1, and it's going to look like it's going to be Cam Sims season because Curtis Samuel is still dealing with the injury. Now, I do want to say this. Shout out to JP Finley. He tweeted this, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, man, it's just some little gimmick. It's not nothing that should be taken serious. Everybody that's donned number 10 for some reason for the Burgundy and Gold has dealt with injuries, and you can go back to the RG3 days. You can go to Paul Richardson, Antonio Gandy Golden last year, and now Curtis Samuel. So could number 10 just be a jinx? Maybe. I would like to think it's not, and it's just something going on with Curtis Samuel, which is apparent. I know it sounds stupid and silly, but it is something that should raise your eyebrow, that it's seeming like everybody that wears the number 10 is always getting hurt. But like I said, Curtis Samuel is not 100%, and you guys can clearly see that, so I don't expect him to be out there for week 1. I don't know if he's going to even be out there for the first portion of the season. That's how serious this groin injury is, and obviously, maybe I could be overthinking it a little bit, but from the video clip, from all the media writers at Washington's practice today, and since he's been dealing with this injury for about 4 months now, I would like to think I'm not overthinking it. I would like to think I'm right on the head with this opinion of mine that Curtis Samuel is not going to be ready for probably the first quarter of the season. And who knows, maybe he even, and I hope this doesn't happen, but maybe he even isn't 100% for the whole season. Like I said, he's going to come back at some point. But he's a wide receiver. He's a wide receiver that is a burner. He needs a healthy groin, right? And as soon as he feels like he's healthy, at case in point today at practice, he thought he was healthy, but he ran a couple routes and boom, he got some tightness or he got some discomfort up in that groin area, and boom, now he's out of practice. So let's say he comes back week 5 or something like that, and he feels like he's healthy. and hopefully he is. But once he starts running around and catching passes in mid-game and taking hits, it could be something that lingers again. It could be something that comes up again. Groins are something that takes time to heal, and obviously 4 months isn't enough for a guy like Curtis Samuel. So it's very unfortunate. Could they possibly put him on IR to start the season? Obviously short-term IR and bring up somebody else from the practice squad. Now I could see another reason why they possibly kept 7 receivers, because obviously the punt return duty, and maybe they said we need to keep 7 because Curtis Samuel is not 100% and we want to be cautious, we want to be safe. Then sorry. So with Curtis Samuel, I hope at some point we can get him back. I hope I'm just overthinking it and he could be ready for week 1, but I'll tell you guys this now. We're 4 days away and he doesn't look like he's going to be ready for week 1. The guy just doesn't look healthy at all, man. And I would rather have him for the long term of his contract than try to force him back now, because we're going to need Curtis Samuel in the long run. And I want to have a healthy, fun, successful 3 years, possibly even longer with Curtis Samuel. So I don't want to jeopardize this one game that's going to set him back even more. So if he has to sit out, so be it, man. Unfortunately, it sucks because I wanted to see this guy ball out with his best friend Terry McLaurin and see what he can do in a burgundy and gold. And at some point he will, but to start off the season, he is probably not going to play, and I would probably not expect to see him until probably week 4 or week 5. So it's very unfortunate for Curtis Samuel, but hopefully at some point we can get him back and he can be healthy and he can rock out for Washington. I do want to mention this though. James Patrick, JP Finley, I don't know why I just called him by his real name, but JP Finley actually just made a tweet and he was talking about Curtis Samuel, and he did an interview with Curtis Samuel. He asked him, did he ever consider surgery? And every time I hear the word surgery, I get scared. JP Finley asked Curtis Samuel about surgery, and he said this: no, we weren't really focused on that too much. It was just about getting better. That is from the mouth of Curtis Samuel, and obviously a player isn't going to want surgery. I hope and pray that it's not that serious, but once again, a thing that's been lingering for 9 months, man, it's obviously more serious than what it is being led to be. So to finish off this video in some positive news, Washington's game versus the Los Angeles Chargers this Sunday is actually sold out, and that should tell you right there that some of the fans are, you know, obviously brought back in with this new Ron Rivera era. And it's crazy to think after 1 year everyone is buying back in. You knew I was always back in. I never left this team, even when we were 3-13. But I love to see that fans are starting to buy back in. Of course, we know it's going to be Chargers fans that are going to be there, of course. So maybe that obviously played a toll in this game being sold out. But for the most part, it's going to be all burgundy and gold there, man, and I'm excited to see it. I know the fans are excited to see it because it's going to be their first game actually playing in front of fans. So I'm excited about it. I know you guys are, and I cannot wait till Sunday. So yeah, man, it's been boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, help to the Washington football team. Don't forget, I will be going live tonight at 9 p.m. with my man Ed Oliver on this channel. Tonight, we'll be previewing the Chargers game, and we'll be talking more about the Curtis Samuel injury and possibly the 8 names that Tanya Snyder spoiled yesterday. So let me know what you guys think about this video down below. See you tonight. I'm out. Peace. Cross me one time, that's gonna get you popped. Get you popped.